This was by far the most stressful 48 hours I've ever experienced in a video game. Let me explain. It all started on a Wednesday night. I was playing some video games where I got the following message. Okay, that should be easy enough. I'll just quickly log into Tarkov and see my stash. Right, okay. Fuck. Everything is gone. Now, some of you may be sat there being like, Tristan, this is a simple enough fix, right? Just reload back into Tarkov and get some loot. No, it's not that easy. If you don't know, Escape from Tarkov is an interesting game. It's a pretty brutal FPS sim where you try and, it says in the title, escape from Tarkov. It sounds simple enough. That is until you throw in scavs who are initially ex-citizens of Tarkov, now turned loot-hungry monsters who steal everything and therefore need to be shot and looted. But don't worry, they also have guns too, because that makes sense. Then we have the two PMCs, who are the Bears and the USEC, the two main private military companies running around in Tarkov that have really good guns and will shoot you on sight. And then we have other ones, but we'll get to them later. So the plan is simple enough. Get guns, get armor, get food, and be ready for on Friday to play Tarkov for fully. So on Wednesday night, I did the first thing I could do, which was boot up Tarkov and play as a scav. Didn't go so well. Now, to be honest, I don't play Tarkov that safe, and the best way to show you that is probably using the following diagram. Now, most people sit here playing the game safe, getting some loot, adding to their stash. Then we get some of the others here grabbing loot, getting home, and kind of doing what they need to do to get quests and progression out of the way. And then we have myself, who realistically, in the farthest reaches of this diagram, really doesn't seem to understand that if you get loot, you will get shot in the head and you will lose everything. Hence why my stash now looks like this.
Oh my god! What is that?
Now I'm going to stress, this isn't going to be that hard to get out of, but it sure as hell isn't going to be that easy either.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
So after my first scav run not going as effectively as I wanted to, and now having about 47 out of the 48 hours left, I really need to pull a plan together to get as many decent kits as I can before the time runs out and Ollie comes to yell at me. So if using my extensive knowledge of Escape from Tarkov, which is currently 0 or very, very poor, or even maybe someone who watches Twitch occasionally, I decided to pull a plan together. And the breakdown was this with 46 hours remaining. First was how to get the most amount of loot I possibly could. I looked at the maps list and I thought, you know what, Interchange or Ground Zero could be good for this, for the following reasons for me. A, I know the map well enough to actually understand where to go and how to exit, which is a really good idea. B, I could know where to scuttle and grab stuff before heading off into my little rat hole to go hide and pray that no one gets me as I try and extract. The second idea in this is basically to flip the most amount of stuff I could do into the flea market or by selling it to vendors and pray to God I can get enough food to survive. Anyway, with that very simple plan together, let's do this. I realized there was a slight issue with playing a scav. So scav's great in order to get money because you have the ability to loot freely, and I didn't have to worry about much apart from the bosses and the other PMCs running around. However, the following issue is this. Each scav has a 30-minute wait down timer, which means every time I do a raid, I need to wait 30 minutes before the next raid. The second is lack of loot stealing. And some of you are at home going, Tristan, what's loot stealing? Well, previously in Escape from Tarkov and previous wipes, I used to get a shotgun, run so close to Scav he could literally smell my cologne, and blast his brains out so I could take all his loot, and then I'd be a lot happier, and then sprint away to my rat hole so no one could find me. However, with this being a PvE run, it's a permanent save, so unlike in PvP, where all your progress gets wiped, in this, it's permanent. So every time I do that to a Scav, my reputation goes down, the Scavs get more aggressive, and it makes playing a Scav unplayable. So I need to try and work out what to do here. And when thinking about that, I'm just going to bash out some more PMC and see how I go along. Okay, min. Right, what have we got? Emacom checkpoint, power station. So if we fly around the corner down here. Backpack, very good. Push power station. That's one. Okay, M2, fine. And after that die run, and with nowhere else to turn, and time slowly approaching, I had nothing else to do, except one thing. Reach out for help on Reddit, and hope that they could answer my prayers. And after waking up, grabbing a coffee, doing some work, finishing it and calling it a day, and with about 29 hours remaining on this wonderful journey, I decided to check Reddit and see what they said. And Reddit actually came through on this one. They had some good ideas, they had some great kind of themes and concepts, and the majority of it seemed just to be around running over the same maps over and over again, which I was kind of doing, but I was picking the wrong maps, which was the issue. The second idea that they suggested was bags. For whatever reason, due to lack of questing, maybe on my end, or the fact that I haven't really done the quest progression, it wasn't the best idea, was to just do a lot of scav runs, get a lot of bags, get a lot of stuff, and then flip it. So the best option, I think, is the following. I'll start running the same maps, which is basically going to be Shoreline, Streets, Interchange, and Labs, if I can get the right keycards. And with about 28 hours, I decided to go and do the following areas, see how well I could do the runs, understand the maps, and each time I'll do a map, I'll repeat it 4 or 5 times, and then flip off to the new map. And that's what I need to do, 25 runs, as much loot as I can, and with nothing else to lose, let's get this underway. And that was it. After 48 hours of hell, I'd finally done it. I'd got myself ready to do quests with Holly, and all I needed to do was to wait for the phone call.
Hey Tristan, you ready to kill a boss today in Tarkov?
Ah,